The shoreline is quiet in the low evening light. Small waves reach the sand and move back again. The air feels open but not empty, and maybe that is why this kind of tiredness becomes easier to notice here. The kind that does not always look like tiredness from the outside. The kind that can hide inside being capable, inside answering the next question, inside remembering what everyone needs, inside carrying one more thing because it seems easier than explaining why you need help with it. There may not be one single weight to name. That is part of what makes it hard. It is not always one big problem. It is the accumulation, the message you did not answer yet, the decision waiting in the background, the emotion you did not have time to feel, the future concern you keep setting down and picking back up without realizing it. And because each thing seems small on its own, the mind can dismiss the heaviness. It tells you it should not be this much. It tells you other people carry more. It tells you to keep moving because nothing dramatic is happening, but the body keeps a more honest record. The pressure gathers behind the eyes after too much holding. It sits in the jaw when words stay swallowed. It lives across the forehead in the space between thought and effort, where the mind keeps trying to organize what the heart has not had time to process. The waves continue, arrive, touch, return. Arrive, touch, return. The rhythm is simple, and it does not ask anything to stay. A wave arrives, it meets the shore, then it moves back into something larger. That movement can feel unfamiliar when the nervous system has learned to keep everything close. Responsibilities stay close, concerns stay close, plans stay close. Even old feelings can stay close, not because they are wanted, but because they were never given enough room to move through. There is a kind of carrying that becomes invisible through repetition. The first time something is heavy, it is obvious. The 100th time, it starts feeling like part of the body. And maybe that is what has been happening. Not weakness, not overreaction, just weight that has been normalized. The shoreline keeps receiving what comes in. Arrive, touch, return. The rhythm comes back differently now. Less like water, more like a quiet question the body already understands. What has been arriving that never got to return? The question does not need to be answered quickly. It simply opens a little space. A little space around the conversation still sitting in the chest. A little space around the expectation that you should handle everything gracefully. A little space around the part of you that has been tired longer than it has admitted. The breath moves with less effort, not because anything has disappeared, because something finally has room to be noticed without becoming another task. The shoulders begin to feel less attached to everything they have been holding. The jaw eases slightly. More weight is being held by what is beneath you. A gull calls once beyond the shoreline. The sound breaks the quiet, then leaves it wider than before. Attention follows it for a moment, and when it returns, the body feels a little less alone with everything it has been carrying. That may be the part that matters. Not every weight needs to be solved immediately. Some of it needs to be recognized. Some of it needs room. Some of it needs to stop pretending it is not heavy. The waves keep moving. Nothing stays pressed against the shore forever. And somewhere inside that rhythm, the old effort loses a little authority. Because carrying more than you realize does not mean you have failed to be strong. It means the strength has been working quietly for a long time. There may be things you have held because love asked you to, things you held because responsibility required it, things you held because there was no clear moment to set them down. But love was never meant to become constant tension. Responsibility was never meant to erase rest. Hope was never meant to be carried as another burden. The chest has more room now. The breath feels less supervised. The future does not press as close. Possibility feels safer when the body is not holding everything at once. Not loud possibility, not certainty, just a little opening where life can still meet you without needing so much effort first. Arrive, touch, return. The rhythm returns again, gentle, familiar now, still moving. There are still responsibilities. There are still questions. There may still be things that ask for care. But not everything has to remain inside you at the same time. Not every concern has to live in the body. Not every unfinished thing has to become part of who you are. The shoreline continues receiving and releasing. The evening continues opening. Life continues beyond what has been carried. And something inside begins to understand. You were never meant to hold all of it without being held too. Arrive, touch, return. The rhythm returns one final time, soft, steady, unfinished. The weight does not need to be denied. The effort does not need to be minimized. The tiredness does not need to justify itself. You have been carrying more than you realize, and even now, life is still making room around you. Room for breath, room for support, room for hope that does not feel like one more thing to carry. The waves keep returning, the shore keeps receiving, the story keeps unfolding. And somewhere beyond this moment, something is still opening gently enough to meet you.